Hello and welcome to day 138 in this quest for a 2000 rapid chess rating on chess.com. So we're at 1661 rated now. Let's find an opponent and begin. All right. Oh, I should have bumped this up. I was going to bump it up so I get 1500 or excuse me, 1600 players or higher. Okay, I got a 1726. Now, they play d4. A viewer mentioned, kind of requested, or wanted me to try the Dutch defense, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Now, I'm not, I don't know exactly what I'm doing in this opening, so let's see how it goes. All right. So we have an attack there on that pawn. Might as well just go ahead and defend it. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. Now we can fianchetto. So we'll go ahead and do that. We probably do not want this knight jumping in the center here. So we'll go there. We don't want that knight on an outpost. Okay, we have a pin. Now, I could just go ahead and attack that, which I think I will do. Or do I just go ahead and castle? I mean, should I force him to make a decision? Could also just go here with the other knight. I think I'll do that. I think I'll just develop the other knight. Okay, now we could fianchetto over here. Is that going to cause a problem? We'll just go ahead and attack. The only thing I don't like about this is the queen kind of lining up here on this pawn. Okay, and now we can't, well, if we move, we're going to have a weak pawn here. So, should we go ahead, go this way and fianchetto? I think so. All right, let's do that. Bring this bishop into the game. All right. Now there's that possibility. So, do we attack there? Should we castle? A lot of questions. So, well, if I castle, he could castle over on the other side and just start an attack against me. All right. Yeah, so now I'm having some issues. Okay, I want to be careful. Okay, I'll just go there. I got to be careful about running out of time. Okay, so they castle here. That kind of settles things and helps me decide a little bit. I'll go ahead and castle. And I think I need to move my queen over to here, but I have to watch out if his knight tries. Okay, so we should probably move our queen. So if we move the queen, all right, and we could jump here immediately. Do we want to do that? Need to do something in the center. If we go here, that's a possibility. We have to watch out a possible attack on our king over here. All right. I'm thinking we move our queen off to there. So what do we do next? We jump up here, try and block things. Maybe. All right, we could fork here, so that might not be bad. We'll go ahead and fork. So we'll go ahead and do that move. The problem is we don't want to capture with the bishop, or he could block our bishop, kind of trap our bishop. So we'll capture this way. Oh, but does that work? Does that work? Oh no, the queen is under attack, so we're okay. His queen has to run. So we can just attack his queen there. Okay, now, I guess we could trade down material. If we trade down material, I think that would work. He's a higher rated opponent, so if we get a draw, it won't be so bad. Then we can jump our knight up here into a better position. Okay, so now we just jump our knight into a better position. Problem is this pawn could go here, and kind of open things up. So if he goes here, well, we're going that way. We're going to try and improve our knight, jump it up on this outpost. So jump the knight up on the outpost. That should be decent for us. We're threatening to attack the bishop here. The bishop should just retreat back. No reason to give up your bishop. We could jump here next. Yeah, I think we go here next. Something like that. All right. Well, that is interesting. Do we just capture? So maybe we do that. Maybe we just capture. Probably have to capture, so we'll go ahead and do that. The only thing, it helps bring the rook in. I guess if we go here, now, if they capture, that shouldn't be anything too serious. Well, I don't know. If they capture here and we capture here, the knight or the queen kind of infiltrates into the position. So what can we do? Man, we are just really low on time here. Okay, if they capture, oh, we could capture this way. That might be a little bit unexpected. Probably need to connect our rooks. Maybe bring our queen over here. All right. I think we'll go that way. And then maybe we can, okay, so now do we capture this way? You know, if we capture this way, I don't know if I like that. It keeps it more symmetrical, but I probably need to go this way. Keep things closed up here. All right. Well, we probably have to go that way. Now he could trade off. Queen here to d5. We capture, his rook moves in here. Then we have to figure out what to do with our rooks. I mean, I guess we could try and swing over here, attack on this side, push this forward. All right. Well, what now? If only we could go here and grab one of these rooks, you know, with our bishop. Okay. You know, the queen could move in here, and that doesn't look so good. All right. Well, what now? Do we put the rook on the half-open file? The problem might be if the queen, well, the queen can't go here. So what can this bishop do? Maybe try to go there. If we start pushing, this pawn will just move forward. So we need to stay here to be able to capture this. All right, do we just gain space here on the queen side maybe? Gain space on the queen side. How can we better our bishop's position? Really? Okay, when you don't know what to do, usually you want to look at your worst placed piece and try and improve them, which is obviously this one. But, you know, where could we improve this, or how could we improve this? Just put it on the half-open file, I guess. Nope, we don't want to do that because then he'll be lined up on our rook here. So, do we push forward for more space here? Then he could lock the position up like that, you know, and then this is stuck on the same colored square as the bishop. Um, man, this is a tricky one here. Just do that. See what they decide. Now, one problem might be if he pushes this forward, we could capture, then the rook is going to end up here, and he'll start piling up on this, which is not so great. Man, we are in a little bit of a tricky situation here. All right, at least they're sitting here and thinking for a while. Maybe they're trying to figure out what to do now. Should I go here and try and push forward? That's a possibility. I don't know. My opponent kind of has me a little bit stuck where I don't really have much options. What can I do? And I have to be careful. They have so much more time, over 5 minutes more than I do. So they do have time to think here. What would I do if I was the opponent? If I was them, I'd probably just push this pawn. Then if I capture, he could capture. If he captures with the queen, then we attack both of his rooks. And then what? He picks this pawn off. Then, I don't know, that's tricky. We'll be able to go after, with our bishop, we'll be able to pick off one of his rooks, but these pawns will be mowed down. So, but I don't know. I would still probably go here. If I capture, he captures with the rook, getting ready to double his rooks up and pile, a lot of pressure on this. Then what? Do I bring my rook here? Maybe, and get ready to push this forward. But then he could push this pawn. I don't know. I'm thinking I need to get my rook up here and get ready to push this forward. Unless I try and, I can't even push this up because the bishop will be able to grab this. So I don't know. Maybe I need to go here to guard things. Stay on a light square instead of the dark squares where this bishop could be a danger. So if I go here, we could trade queens if he goes here and I capture, his rook ends up here. Then what? Hmm. At some point, I need to bring this bishop up here, maybe. If he takes, I end up with doubled pawns. These pawns are not looking so good. All right, at least they're really burning through the time. I mean, that's fine with me because I don't want to be the only one with, running out of time in the end game. Okay, so what should they do here? And what attacks or threats do we have? I mean, our king kind of, or our queen kind of has to stay here, so the queen can't come down and infiltrate to d5 and then try and go here, and target this pawn maybe. Although, I mean, I guess I could just move back here. But if the queen goes to d5, I'm going to capture. Rook captures. And then what? Then what? At some point, he should push here. If I could get the queens off the board, then maybe my king could try and come in towards the center and help guard things. And I have to watch out for little traps. So let's say we trade off queens and a rook ends up here on d5. I have to be very careful, that I don't move one rook and have a rook lined up on his rook on d5, and then, if he doubles his rooks up and captures here, and I go to recapture and he picks off my rook on d8, if this rook has moved and is not helping guard it. But even if it is, well, no, only if this rook has moved forward. So that's a little tactic to watch out for when, let's say, there's pressure coming down a half-open file and you have a rook behind your pawn and they're able to pick this pawn off and open things up, and you don't have enough defenders on the other side of your pawns. All right, so, well, now this is fine with me. They are really burning up some time. I don't know why. I mean, I guess they're running out of plans, but if I was them, I don't know, maybe I would push this pawn up to e4. And if he does that, let's see, I capture. He would have to capture with the rook and not the queen, I believe. And then, because if he captures with the queen, my bishop can go over here to c3 and attack both of his rooks. But then, if he goes here and captures this, I capture his queen, his other rook drops down here, but I would be able to pick the other rook off, so... So, if he pushes with e4 and I capture, he's going to have to capture with the rook. And then what do I do? I don't know. Then it gets a little tricky. I mean, I guess I would have to go here, rook to c6, and try and push this up here. But then he could try and stop me, and that would leave me with this backwards pawn, which I don't like much. And he could try and stop me by going here, maybe, with this pawn. problem could be if this e-file opens up and he's got a rook here. All right, well, now I have more time than them. I wonder what happened here. They're going to go down under 5 minutes. Okay. Well. So, what are the options that my opponent has? Trade off the queens. You know, he goes here. I would probably just capture. He recaptures. Then, do I bring my bishop up here, attack his other rook? The rook could just move and he would double up. So, what should I do in this case? Maybe bring my other rook here. But maybe he's calculating what happens if we trade off queens. So queen to d5, I capture, his rook captures. Then, what do I do after that? I don't know. There's a lot to think about. Is my opponent just going to let the time run down? This is kind of crazy. I wonder if something happened. They're just going to let the time keep on ticking down here. Let's see. So, you know, unless they are really calculating some things out. Oh, wait a minute. If the queen goes here, I can just go here, attacking the rook. So the queen can't even go here. Because if the queen goes to d5, I can immediately attack both rooks and pick one off. You know, even if they capture my queen with check, well then my rook, I would have to decide if I want my rook or king to capture. But then, you know, I would still be able to pick off one of the rooks for my bishop. So, yeah, if the queen goes to d5, then I should go here, bishop to c3. So, the most logical move, or one of the most logical moves, maybe it's the best move, would be e4 here. You know, then what? I capture. He would have to capture with the rook. Then what? We have this kind of opened up a little bit. Whew. Or do I ignore that? Maybe I just ignore that, but then they could push to here. And I'll be left with weak pawns in the endgame. So, oh my gosh, this is really crazy. Wonder why they're letting the clock tick down this far. Maybe they had some kind of issue. It's showing that they have full bars. Excellent connection. All right, so maybe it's a strategy. Maybe they're really good at playing bullet and blitz, and they're going to just try and blitz the moves out on me. But what would I do if I was them? Probably go here. e4. So e4, then what? Do we capture or not? If we don't capture, they could try and push forward. You know, and then if we go here, I don't know, that doesn't look too good. So I think, it's going to auto-resign them in 35 seconds. Now they're disconnected. Wonder what was going on there, why that happened. So they should have pushed to e4, I'm guessing. Then we capture. The rook would have to capture. Okay. So they decide to play at the very end here. And now this allows us to attack with our bishop. So we go ahead and do that. Now, do we attack with the rook or what? Rook or bishop? Or I mean king. I mean rook or king. And that's the question. There could be a sacrifice here, so I'm going to go with the rook. And we still have this trade here that's advantageous for us. And we could maybe bring our rooks up here. But either way, we're going to knock out one of his rooks. So, yeah, they don't know what to do. I don't know why they took so long. Maybe something happened and they had to get away from the board. All right, so I won on time, but they were in trouble there. We really have to look at this game review and see maybe there was something else going on, or they were using their computer and they saw that they had a bad position. All right, so game review here. Let's do a quick game review, see what was going on in this position. All right, it looked like it was pretty even until they had a blunder. So we were at 86.4% accuracy versus their 78.1. Oh, and my rating jumped up to 1672, so that's good. I don't know. I expected to have more trouble in that game. I don't know what happened there with that opponent. Okay, so they had one great, I had one great move. The bad moves, I had 4 inaccuracies versus their 3. They had 2 mistakes and I had 1. We each had 1 missed opportunity, and they had 1 blunder, which was probably that queen move at the end. And then they played at an 1800 level versus my 2200. In the opening, they had 86.5% accuracy versus my 87.8, 72.1 for the middle game versus my 85.7. So let's begin this review. Okay, so we'll do a quick review. I hardly ever play the Dutch defense, so it was recommended that I should try it by one of the viewers. Thank you for the recommendation. I probably need to learn more about it before I, dig into the Dutch defense, because I didn't know exactly what I was doing there. All right, so what do we have going on in this position? And after this, I'll just blast through these and then do game analysis with the computer after. Okay, so that was a mistake. They didn't like that move. It says I should have castled immediately. All right. Well, so we'll have to check that out in the analysis here after we do this. H3, a wasted move. They're probably leaving an escape hatch for their bishop. But what should they have played? They should have blocked my bishop in the center here. Gain space with d5 pawn push here. Blocking my bishop. So now, what do we have? Another mistake here. Better would once again be to block the path of my bishop. So, all right. So this was the big blunder here. Oh, and this is a move I didn't expect. They recommend f4 here. Huh. F4. Interesting. I mean, that stops my, any possibility of pushing my F pawn, which I wouldn't do anyway because of this covering it. But it leaves them with a backwards pawn, although, that backwards pawn isn't going to be doing much, or I can't do much to go after it because of my pawn here. All right, so yeah, this was a great move. I guess that was the best move. They capture, which was an inaccuracy. And then they ran out of time here. So it's saying our king should have captured instead. But I was wondering if he would do something crazy, like, which it probably wouldn't be a good move. Capture here. Then if I capture his rook, yeah, he could have tried to play on with some crazy rook capture maybe. And then what do? Do I pick this off and then he can capture this pawn? But I'd still be ahead by the equivalent of 3 points. All right, well, let's look at the analysis because there are some interesting things to take a look at. So the game started with d4, f5. This is the Dutch defense. So, white takes control of the center with this pawn. We kind of flank attack with f5, gaining space on the king side. Our knight can jump in behind there. And now, what do we have? c4, just gaining more space. So now, looks like e6 is recommended. Knight to f6 is also the second best move. So this is, a book move. Now queen to c2, that is the best move. Interesting. Let me go back here. They also recommend g3, knight to c3, knight to f3. That's interesting that they played this queen to c2 move. It does immediately attack this, but of course we can just protect that. So e6 is recommended. Also g6. What did we play? We just played g6 to defend. And now, I guess maybe they could have started pushing this right away to try and open things up over here. But now, knight to c3, the best move. Bishop to g7, the best move. So now they just develop their knights. And d6, because I wanted this bishop to possibly be able to come out. What else is it? Oh, I wanted to keep this knight from being able to jump onto this outpost here. But even if he did that, I guess I could chase him away with d6 later. So bishop to g5, attacking the knight. I back it up with the other knight, although c5 immediately was recommended. So, all right, this push fortifies the center, allows the bishop to get activated here, and an inaccuracy. Immediate castling would have been better. So, they think I should have immediately castled, but I was kind of worried about, some attack. My opponent could castle over here, then just start, throwing a pawn storm forward and trying to go after my king. So I wanted to leave things kind of open. Here they recommend rook to d1. Or bishop to e2. But anyway, we had h6 attacking. They dropped back. An inaccuracy. It looks like it would have been better to go ahead and capture. And then we would recapture with the knight, bringing our knight into a better position here. And, eyeing this square and keeping an eye on d5 as well. So then they should play. Oh, interesting. Oh, man. Yeah, look at this. g4. So g4. We should go ahead and capture. Now h3. pushes us away. We just drop back. Now knight to h4, attacking. King up to f7. But then we have rook to g1. So see, this is kind of a dangerous attack. That's why I didn't want to castle over here early. Now what? Rook to g8 is the best move, which, you know, that could be hard to find. I'm not sure what I would have done here. Rook to g6, e5. Man. Yeah, I don't like the looks of all that. So back to the game. Bishop to h4. I just decided to fianchetto over here, but once again, they want me to castle. But I was just worried about a big attack on the king side. The queen is aimed in that direction. We have a bishop, a knight. This pawns could start going forward. All right, so what do we have here? Bishop to e2, and they're ready to castle king side. So I played bishop to b7, a mistake, they're saying. I should have just castled here. And now they recommend rook to g1. So I don't know. This move, it kind of waits to see what they will do. Here the recommendation is d5, blocking this. So instead they play here, a mistake. And now black has an edge. So they should have played this. And then, once again, it wants us to castle. Or knight to c5. So that's an option. Knight to c5. If they attack us, we could jump in the middle here maybe. Anyway, h3 was played. Now I play this. This is kind of a waiting move to see what my opponent's going to do. But this is a miss. Oh my. The game jumps to almost +2 for white at this point. So knight to e4 would have been better. Knight to e4 immediately. Then after capture, is that best? Yes, capture. Okay, this is kind of what happened in the game. We attack the queen, then the bishop blocks. We should go ahead and attack or capture the bishop, it looks like. Queen captures. And then what? Now we castle as there's less material or less pieces for an attack. So, castle, then what? They should castle as well. All right, well, that would have been interesting. So let's see why this is such a bad move, a6, because now they have d5. So they played this, a missed opportunity. d5 would have been better, blocking out. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Now the knight doesn't really want to jump up here anymore, although this knight could go up there perhaps. But now they're recommending knight to f8. So really, is that best, knight to f8? That looks kind of crazy. It says that's the best move. Then rook to d1. Although now it's saying knight to d4 would be better. Oh yeah, why not? Why not do that? Okay. Yeah, knight jumping into this outpost, threatening to jump here or here, although those are both covered. That's why knight to f8 was recommended there, to keep the knight out of here. So queen to d7, that helps cover these squares. And then what? Bishop to f3. That way the knight could jump in here. If we capture, the pawn recaptures and the bishop is backing it up. So queen to c8 is recommended, or knight at 6 to h7. Okay, I'm not going to go too much deeper into that. So let's finish this out. Let's go back a little bit, see what happened. So I fianchetto. They play this, leaving an escape hatch for their bishop. A6 is played, a missed opportunity. Instead, I should have jumped my knight into the center here. They castle, missing an opportunity to block my bishop out with d5. So finally I castle, and now it's an inaccuracy. So instead I should have played that knight to e4 move. Rook goes to the center, a mistake. Once again, d5 is better. So here I play an inaccuracy. Now white is ahead by half a pawn's worth of material, or the equivalent of that. So once again, knight to e4 should be played. And here, an inaccuracy. What would be better here? d5, blocking this bishop. So we both really missed that bishop should be blocked out. So capture, that is best. Bishop captures, attacking the queen is best. A block here. The best thing to do is, it looks like, capture the bishop, queen captures. So we're just trading material down. And now, apparently, a5 might be the best move, or g5. What did I play? Knight to f6, which is still good, but now white has a slight edge. So the rook centralizes, maybe preparing to push forward in the future, push this pawn forward in the future. But knight to d2 would have been better, repositioning the knight. So now we grab this outpost. The bishop drops back here, keeping the bishop, and now c5. So apparently that's the best move. Interesting. All right, so we just gained space there. Now knight to d2, also the best move. Black has a slight edge. Here we should capture, and we do. The rook captures, so now the rook comes forward. This is the best move because it gives your rooks the option to double up, or even triple here with queen and two rooks. So queen to f7, excellent move, but g5 would have been better. So g5, that would have kept a slight edge with black, but it's still pretty even here. After capture, apparently b3 would have been better. So b takes c5. Looks like that was the best move because I don't want them to infiltrate into the position here, and just pile up down through the center. So now b3, the best move. And here I didn't know what to do. Rook at a to c8 is good, but a5 would have been better. Now, I was contemplating, thinking about a5, but I thought, well, would he go here and trap me on the dark squares where the bishop could attack me in the future? But I guess that would leave him with a backwards pawn. But sure enough, it does say the best move here is that. Let's see if the computer changes its mind. No. So they're left with a backward pawn. Now, queen to f6, which is interesting. And I thought about this in the game with, threatening to move here. The queen captures, our bishop recaptures, and we attack the rooks. But they recommend that. But I was thinking they could just check me, which, I guess it'd be all right. I could just move out of the way. But then they could go after this. All right. Bishop to g3 is recommended here. Okay, let me wrap this up. So in the game, we had the blunder move. Queen to d5. And I don't know what my opponent was taking so long figuring out here. It looks like the game is about even. They recommended f4 as being best. Let me see what happens when I play that. f4. Yeah, it says that's best. And that now I should continue with, what, a5? That is best. They should respond with e4 or bishop to g3. So, if they do that to reposition, and it's saying that's best, I should just push forward. Oh, now it's saying rook to a8 would be better. Now, here it would give up a pawn, but it would double these pawns. But I don't know. They're passed pawns, and that could be dangerous. What is recommended here? Let's see. So if I played a4, they said rook to a8 is better. So now I should just go back here where I was. And then they recommend e4. I should go ahead and capture. And let's take a look at this. They have to capture. They don't want to capture with the queen, or our bishop comes in and attacks the rooks. So they have to capture with the rook. Then a4, attacking over here. And bishop, to h4. That's best. Here we should go bishop to d4 check. Interesting maneuver. Or just capture over here. So, what happens if we do that? Well, then what? Oh, that's an interesting maneuver. Because now if they capture, our bishop just captures. Okay. But I don't know. They could just bring their bishop over here. So recommendation is bishop to f2. Bishop to f2. Oh, just targeting my bishop. So what should we do there? A takes b3, or we centralize a rook. Then they should capture. Then we go queen, up to f5, pinning that rook to the queen, kind of. I mean, the queen is protected. And now we have what? Rook at d to e2. Oh, now it's really kind of stuck there. Wait, does that work? Okay, yeah, I guess it works. Rook at a to e8. Kind of line up here. And then queen to f3. Queen to f7. And queen to d3. So I don't know. The game could have gone on like this and it would have been a lot closer. But this blunder happened in the game. So the best thing to do here is play bishop to c3, which we found. And then it looks like rook at e to e2 is best. And then we just capture. He goes down in material there, a rook for the bishop. So I was wondering, what if he captures my queen instead and then try to do something crazy here? Maybe that doesn't work, but okay. I'm going to wrap it up here. We have bishop attacking. So something to keep an eye out for whenever pieces are lined up on a diagonal. Look for a way to attack them with your bishop or queen or something if they can be lined up on the same diagonal. So after this capture, king captures is best. So I was wondering, if I did that, what if they capture here? Does that even work? Nah, that probably doesn't really work. Rook at d to e2 is best. I mean, what if they did something like that? Well, then it looks like I should just go after this immediately. Then they can pick that off. And then rook at f to d8. We grab the open file, threatening some problems. Yeah, and then this can push forward. But yeah, we're just better there. Okay, well, the position ended with a capture, and then, we captured here, and the rooks, one of the rooks will fall. So, how could the game go on from here? Let's take a look. Rook takes f7. So now, what? They should move rook at d to e2 is recommended. So then we capture, rook captures, and then what? Rook to f6. That's an interesting move. Rook to f6. Huh. f3, getting ready to push forward here. a5, e4, and now king up to f7, e5. Oh, rook to e6. That's a good move. But, do they go here or do they protect this? I mean, what if you do that? Is that any good? Well, then we can just play g4 and put some pressure on that. So instead, they recommend king up to f2 to protect the rook. But we go ahead and capture. Bishop captures. And now a4 trying to wreck these pawns. g4 counterattacking. We capture. They capture. Rook to a8. Yeah, and our extra rook is just going to make all the difference here. So, you want to try and trade off pawns if you're behind in material. So something like that. And now, king over to g3. Rook to b6, targeting this. They go up to e3. Rook to b4. We get ready to double up there, I guess. So, king up to f4. Rook to a6. Yeah, I don't know if I would have let this king get up in here like that. All right. Please like and subscribe to support the channel if you haven't already. Feel free to leave any comments that you would like. Thank you for watching, and have a super chess day.